What is going on, everyone? I have to redo this video because of some information that came out on Jason Peters' contract and all, but we're going to start with Malik Jackson, and it's phenomenal. It's absolutely a fantastic deal to bring him in to replace Jernigan. He is here for 3 years, $30 million. He comes over from Jacksonville, and it's just a great move when you take an overall look at this thing because we lost some players. We lost Jernigan, who couldn't really stay healthy. We lost Michael Bennett. And I know I wasn't the biggest fan on how we approached it and the value that we got back, but this is reality. I'm not going to sit here and bash it and continue to talk about it. I didn't like the way we approached it, but this is reality, and we knew that Howie was going to have to make moves. Now, I still trust Howie is going to get this thing done. I might be upset with what we acquired for Bennett, but it's not like I don't have trust that Howie Roseman is going to rebuild this thing. I get that. I know that he will. And this was the first step to do that as we land Malik Jackson. He's going to be phenomenal. When you play against Fletcher Cox, yeah, you're going to do some work. I mean, Fletch, we all know how powerful he is. He draws the double teams. Bringing a value like Malik Jackson to play next to him, it's phenomenal. It really is. It's an excellent pickup. It was someone who wasn't really on my radar, so when I saw the news, I was like, okay, here we go. He's had very successful years in this league, and it's just going to be great. On top of, just taking a look at this defensive front as a whole right now with Fletch, with Malik Jackson. You also have Derek Barnett coming off an injury. Brandon Graham. It's okay, and I know that we are still going to attack the draft with the defensive front. I would be surprised, because everything that I read up on, all the Eagles insiders, NFL insiders, this draft is so damn deep when it comes to defensive line players that it would be almost impossible to pass them up. I know we need a running back. I know we need other pieces, but everything I've read, this defensive front, when it comes to the draft, the players in the draft, it's just crazy to think we would pass up on a talent like that from everything that I've read. You can find a running back in a second, third, fourth type of round nowadays. I mean, just take a look at this league. You can easily find them. Denver found Lindsey undrafted. You can find players outside the first round who can run the football. That's for sure. So I really do love this move out of the Eagles. It's great. It's great. No doubt about it. This guy is a legit baller. He's 29 years old. He can really play. He can pass rush. He can put the pressure on the quarterback. Love it. Also, number 2 here, Jason Peters. And I put up a video and I read 5.5 and I thought that was the cap hit, but it was guaranteed money. So there is no news to this point of a actual cap hit. 10 mil a year for this 1-year deal is what it is. 5.5 mil guaranteed. It's a good move. Listen, when it comes to Jason Peters, we all know he can't really stay that healthy. But we don't have anyone ready to go yet when it comes to a backup left tackle. I'll take 70% of Jason Peters this year and 30% of Vaitai over 100% of Vaitai and Mailata as the backup. Mailata didn't play a snap. There's a reason why. I don't know if he's ready yet. Jason Peters shut down Khalil Mack in the playoffs. Jason Peters shut down the Bears off defensive line in the playoffs. He's still a beast when he can play. It's not going to be pretty. There's going to be times where you're going to be pissed off because he's not going. He's going to get banged up. That's reality. But you need to make this move happen because there's no one else behind him. 1 year, 10 mil, 5.5 guaranteed. And at this point, there is no news on the cap hit yet. So I will inform everyone once we get that information. It's the right move. I was in favor because of the cap that we can release of getting rid of Jason Peters, but there's really no other way to do this. You can't head into a season with Mailata and Vaitai. It can't happen. This move had to have been done. That's reality. So I take it for what it is and we move on. Lastly, Desean Jackson. He wants to come to Philadelphia. We need a speedster. We really do. We saw what not Mike Wallace because he got hurt, let's be real, but we saw what Torrey Smith did for this organization when it comes to speed. We need a speedy receiver. Now he's a little bit older, 32 now, but he brings that dog mentality. He's a fighter. He has that Jimmy Butler-ish type of personality, and I'm cool with it. I want him back here in Philly. This whole city, I'm sure, wants back Desean Jackson. That place would be crazy. The link to bring back number 10, Desean Jackson. Now, what's going to happen with number 10? You're going to have to wait and see. I am really excited because I think it is going to happen. It seems like the Tampa Bay organization might release him, but we might trade for him. That's what we're kind of waiting on right now, from my understanding, is are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to release him, or do we need to make a trade? So I think we're waiting it out to see. Everything that I see now, obviously I'm clearly Googling and reading up on Adam Schefter and reading up on everybody in NFL Network, and I'm taking a look at where the Eagles are heading. It seems like the Eagles are a favorite to get back to Desean Jackson. But that also factors in Nelson Agholor and his cap hit of 9.3 for next season. I don't think he's worth that much money. If it came down to me, and it's either pay Nelson Agholor 9.3 or let him walk and sign someone like Desean Jackson, I'm doing that. We need a speedy receiver. As much as I respect Nelson Agholor, he's not the greatest thing in the world. You can find a good slot receiver, to be honest with you. I'm curious on what you think down below. Are you okay with bringing back Jason Peters? How much do you love this Malik Jackson signing? Because let's be real, there's no way you can hate it. You heard all the arguments of why didn't we just keep Michael Bennett? He was only 7.2. We bring someone in for 10. Michael Bennett was a defensive end position, and we're going to still add to this line, I'm sure. This move of Jackson is to replace Tim Jernigan. And I loved what Jernigan brought to the table. He couldn't stay healthy, but he was a beast with Fletcher Cox. He couldn't stay healthy, though. And adding Malik will be very valuable and honestly bring a lot of intensity to that line. That is what makes the Eagles so special. That is the talent. That is the bread and butter of the Eagles organization, this defensive front. So I'm all on board. I'm on board with all of it, to be honest with you. I'm okay with bringing back Jason Peters for 1 year. I'm okay, obviously, with Malik Jackson. I think he is really, really solid. At 29 years old, we get him for 3 years, $30 million. He is a very solid player. And I just think playing alongside Fletcher Cox is going to help him out tremendously and really help him hopefully get to where he was years past, where he was very, 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 very effective. Not that he wasn't last year or anything, but he's had some seasons in this league where it's, damn, okay. I want this all to happen. I want Malik to be a dog. I want JP to be, with realistic eyeballs here, healthy for about 75% of this season. Hopefully that can happen. Have Vitae sneak in for 25 and hold down the fort. And I want Desean Jackson. We need speed. And even though he's getting older, he still has that. He is still valuable. He still has a ton of aggressiveness. And he's a veteran player now. You know, before we had him, he was, I'm not going to say young and stupid, but, you know, he was a younger player and he was awesome as hell, but just young. And now he has a little bit more veteran leadership. He's been around the NFL, and I know he wants to be here. He knows we want him back, and I'm curious to see how the number 10 factors in there with whatever really is happening to Mac Hollins. Do we know what's going on with him yet? I don't know. But also, I would get rid of Nelson Agholor for a 9.3. Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. I need to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. It's starting to come, man. This Eagles season. Well, not this Eagles season. Let's be real. We have some time. But just the Eagles hype, the tampering period, making things happen, the free agency stuff. It's exciting. The draft. The Eagles are really starting to take over, even though it doesn't surprise me. It's just been quiet with Sixers and Phillies, and obviously the Bryce Harper news and the Sixers in a playoff run. But even something as simple as signing a couple guys in free agency just takes over because, of course, the Eagles is the number one sport here in Philadelphia. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry for the re-upload, but I had to settle that. Jason Peters is a 10-year, wow, see? No. A $10 million contract for 1 year. 5.5 is guaranteed, and we do not have the information on the cap hit just yet. But obviously, knowing Howie Roseman and how he works, it's going to be team-friendly. I am just sure of it. Still moves to be made. I hope I'm back for another episode today in regards to Desean Jackson or anybody else. I'm sure I will be soon because Howie is on the phones making it all happen. Thank you so much for listening. Do not forget to leave your comments down below. I will see you next time.